Hello and welcome to the 51 Minutes of Heaven we call the D1Baseball podcast. I am your host, Michael Patrick Rooney. I want to remind everyone that at Academy Sports and Outdoors, they carry all the best gear from the top brands, all at prices you'll love. And now shopping is more convenient than ever at academy.com and on the Academy app. Enjoy free shipping on orders of $25 or more with sign-in plus easy in-store or curbside pickup. Shop anytime, anywhere, and find the widest selection of colors, styles, and sizes. From grills to fitness equipment to workout clothes, everything you need to have fun out there is right here at academy.com. Today, we are going to do our quarter century all-star team, and I'd like to introduce you to my three players that I've selected for the all-century team. That would be Aaron Fitt, Zebby Barrels is going to hit third, Big Tex is going to hit fourth, Kendall J. Rogers, and our Friday night ace, Sauce, Joe Healy. Ladies and gentlemen, the D1Baseball.com 20 quarter century all-century team. Congratulations, gentlemen.
So we're done here. We can go home. Call it a show.
Get the graphics fired up and let's call it a party.
1 minute and 9 seconds of heaven.
That's right. That's right. Heaven a little quicker. Gentlemen, good to see you. We'll have no inane banter today because we got 34 roster spots. We're going to take our four teams that we drafted, and we're going to mold this into an all-star team. You know, the projections have told us that the fabulous Roondogs of the four teams won the pennant, won the World Series. But, you know, projections are just projections. Those were unofficial projections. But now we're going to come together harmoniously, and we're going to form an all-star team. We're going to do go ahead, Joe.
I think I was just going to Runes. I was going to agree with you. I think those projections are so bulletproof, we probably shouldn't even discuss it anymore. Like the Roondogs were obviously the winners of that. The projections have said so. Stop the count, I say.
I'm just excited for you, Runes, because I know you don't do a lot of winning in your day-to-day life. Carrots, historic drought. We all know about that, and so at least you can take this one and feel like you won something.
Yeah,
so good for you.
I think we should spend more of the time talking about like what is the greatest team in the history of college baseball. 95 Cal State Fullerton, 2023 LSU Tigers, 2025 fabulous Roondogs. I mean that's the real podcast people want to listen to.
The big three.
But, the big three, if you will. Before Kendall hangs up on us, maybe we should start putting an all-star team together here. We'll go by.
We're good. Sorry, I was just muted because my dogs were going ballistic. Apparently, they're very excited about this podcast.
They're excited about the Roondogs. It's like that's their kin. Yeah,
it's in the name.
Yeah. Amen. So tell them we appreciate their support. So
you got it.
Let's jump in here, boys. So we got two catchers that we have to lock in on. So our catcher choices were Kurt Suzuki of Cal State Fullerton, Mike Zunino of Florida, Buster Posey of Florida State, Matt Wieters of Georgia Tech, Henry Davis of Louisville, Adley Rushman of Oregon State, Landon Powell, South Carolina, Ryan Garko of Stanford. We need to pick two of these guys. Anybody want to motion an obvious one?
I think
Buster Posey's got to be one, and for me, Rushman would be the other one.
Yep, done and dusted. Next.
I think this will end up being one of our easier positions. I mean, those two guys were just such transcendent players within the context of the time they played and just in general. Yeah. So I would second all those motions.
Yeah, it's like I want to put up a fight like maybe Matt Wieters or Kurt Suzuki, but the thing about Rushman is he's the number one pick in the draft, which reflects his career, and he was on two like iconic teams, one of which won a national title. So I'm with you. I don't.
Yeah, the guy that I wonder if we're overlooking a little bit. I'll just throw this out there for the sake of the discussion, which is what this exercise is about. Are we overlooking Mike Zunino? I mean, it's 47 career home runs. Which, just going by the counting stats, that's, 19 more home runs than Rushman hit in his career. Now, granted, Rushman, didn't play a lot as a true freshman. But, and Zunino was a catcher for the national championship. No, he was not. Sorry.
But he played on three straight Omaha.
Three straight Omaha.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, just throwing it out there. Like, I think I still vote Rushman for all the reasons we talked about. I think Rushman, in addition to being just a generational talent, a lot of these guys were generational talents. But yes, I do think, World Series most outstanding player to cap his, player of the year season for those iconic two of the greatest teams of all time for Oregon State, his sophomore, junior years. I do think he's the answer, but Zunino is a guy that I just feel like we're overlooking maybe a little bit. I mean, it's from whatever reason, it's just not quite as sexy maybe as like some of these, even Weeders and some of these other guys on the list. But Zunino also won the Golden Spikes Award, didn't he? Like that's another bona fide candidate here. So just throwing that out there.
Well done, Fitzy. That is right. That's going to be cause for reflection after this podcast. Is like, why, like, those Florida teams? Maybe it's because it was 7 Omahas in 10 years, but like, the more you peel into his resume, the more impressive it is. So
I think some of it is because they were so good during that period, and they had so many players that are just, top of mind from that era that I wonder if any individual player for those teams gets a little bit lost in the shuffle. Maybe, that it is hard to stand out when you're on these kind of super teams they had built for so long. That 10-year period was incredible.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I'll just throw this out there. Hitting 19 home runs back-to-back years in 2011 and 12 is a lot louder, frankly, than doing that in 2018 because of the context. Like, it was dead offense in 11 and 12, and he had back-to-back 19 homer seasons, which just stands out to me.
Yeah. When I'll, after I say this, we can move to first base, but this also reminds me of 2009 was the last time Kevin O'Sullivan lost a super regional. Like, that just doesn't even feel real. The man is 9-1 in super regionals.
It seems good.
Yeah. How is that even possible? Oh my gosh. Oh, well, good on you, Sully. All right. First sackers. Brett Wallace of Arizona State, Spencer Torkelson of Arizona State, Andrew Vaughn of Cal, Matt Laporta of Florida, Charlie Condon, different era Florida, Charlie Condon of Georgia, Billy Beecher of New Mexico State, Dustin Ackley of North Carolina, Ivan Melendez of Texas. Any emotions?
I mean, Dustin Ackley would have a legitimate argument to be like the best hitter on this entire board in terms of just in college and consistency. So for me, he would be the first baseman.
I can't dispute that.
Just outrageous numbers. Hit over 400 each year of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go there. I go ahead, Aaron.
Before we go any further, I just wanted to throw another name out there who isn't on this list that we probably do need to at least discuss. He was probably a notable omission from our previous podcast. That's Nick Kurtz. And it's because I guess he didn't win a National Player of the Year award, but I mean, 3 straight years of incredible production. Obviously, we see what he's doing in the big leagues already. We know what kind of talent he is, but I mean, I think the track record and the numbers kind of match the talent. And also just being the central figure for this Wake team that made it to the Final Four, was, number 1 national seed. Like, he had a great career. So I just think that's the guy that maybe got overlooked because he didn't win the Player of the Year award, but what a career he had.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember being in the 2023 or 2024 draft, 2 drafts ago, being kind of upset that Nick Kurtz went before Kaggs, because Kaggs just felt so, of course, like when you're talking about top 10 picks, you're nitpicking everything, right? Like, these are the best players on the planet. But I remember being aghast that Kurtz went above Kaggs. And then now you see what Nick Kurtz is doing in the big leagues right now is just a joke. Like, it's over 1,000 OPS. He played college baseball 2 years ago. Like, how's that even possible?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So good call there.
I would motion for Spencer Torkelson, and then we can discuss it, because here's what I would consider. First 2 seasons, 23 home runs, 25 home runs. That's 48 in 2 years. Then he has the COVID year. And so obviously we can't just totally assume health and good production and all that stuff, but if he has an average year, we're looking at a guy that's going to end up with 70, maybe 75 career home runs for Arizona State, and that puts him in a pretty rarefied air. And when you consider some of the records he broke at Arizona State, breaking Barry Bonds' freshman home run record, I think that's a pretty strong resume here. So that's the direction I would go. But admitting that this is a tough one, I will hear other arguments, certainly.
Yeah, I like Torque for this next spot, and frankly, the other guy I would consider here would be who Fitzy brought up, and Nick Kurtz.
Yeah, I mean, again, look at the 3 3 years of actual production for Kurtz. And I know that's unfair to Torque that he got robbed of his junior year when he was surely going to have a monster year. He had 2 monster years already, but Kurtz had 3. I mean, even as a true freshman, he was a freshman All-American, not quite as good a freshman year as Torque had, but I mean, again, the next 2 years is 24 home runs, is 22 home runs. I mean, he had 79 walks against 44 strikeouts as a junior and still hit 22 home runs, even though everyone was pitching around him. The more I talk about this, the more I'm kind of intrigued by the possibility of going off the board here with Kurtz. But there's other names we need to probably talk about. I know Runze's guy. Runze? Yeah, we're going with that. Runze's guy, Brett Wallace.
Let her rip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, gosh, you made a great case for him on our last show, Runes, if you want to rehash some of your talking points. But I mean, he won the Triple Crown in the pack
2 years in a row.
Junior, or did he really win it 2 years in a row? I don't know if that's a challenge. I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, so it's
here.
Go ahead, Kendall.
No, you can go ahead. But I was just going to say, like, my issue with Brett Wallace is, would anybody in modern Arizona State baseball, like fan, would they consider him to be in the same class as Spencer Torkelson?
I mean, not as a draft, but as a career, I think they would say that he had a better career than
I loved Wally. It's hard to look at him next to Spencer Torkelson and go, I'm going with Wally.
Yeah. So here's like the sophomore year was 423, 16, and 78. And then the junior year was 410, 22, and 83. This is hilarious. He had double-digit steals both years, which is hard to even like visualize.
I love that.
But like more walks and strikeouts both of those years. And that was a different Pac-10. Obviously, that was Oregon State at the height of its powers. It was, it was just a different time. But I think Torque versus Wallace versus Kurtz, like I think these are very fair, very fair arguments.
Honestly, I mean, Wallace's resume looks a whole lot like Dustin Ackley's, Kendall. When you think about it, it's like back-to-back years hitting over 400, right? Like it's the hit tool, pretty loud, and doing it with power. I mean, 16 homers, 22 homers. Obviously, plenty of doubles and walks and all that stuff. I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's easy to forget how great this guy was. I know you're right. Like maybe he doesn't feel like that transcendent player.
He's most certainly one of those guys that, like, even though he was really good in college, you'd be a little surprised if you go back and look at his stat line. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize it was that good.
I'm not. He was a badass, man. That guy was a badass. I remember it at the time. And those Arizona State teams, I mean, they were rolling at that point, really, really good teams.
I fear what's happening here is we're body shaming Brett Wallace. Like, just because the man is pear shaped does not mean he could not hit. Like it's. I mean, and I say that jokingly, but like it is a unique body. Like it's just not. He didn't look like anybody else. Like it's not even that I'm calling him, fat. It's just like it's a unique. He was very, very bottom heavy through his legs and his hips, and didn't have that big giant upper body that sluggers often have. It was a unique.
We're not.
Did not miss
selling
front squad
jeans
day,
here,
kind of like 50.
Right? We're not selling jeans here. We're trying to put together an all-sport century team.
That's right.
How do you know that Wally didn't look good in jeans?
That's such a good question. He doesn't. He doesn't know that.
Thank you, Joe.
That's right. These are all good points.
Those are compelling arguments on Wally, though. Those numbers are pretty damn loud.
And if we're gonna go down this road, and I think we should, how about another Pac-12? How about Andrew Vaughn? One Golden Spikes award.
Yeah.
Also a guy that hit over 400 with power as a sophomore, 402 with 23 homers, and then follows it up the next year, 381 with 15. Back-to-back years, OPS above 1200, and he's not playing in Tempe. No offense, Coach Rooney.
Yeah, none taken.
No, Coach Rooney did build that stadium with his own hands, so I get why that's could be a
Good place to hit, no question.
I thought you were about to say Cal. I was about to say that thing probably literally was built with a coach's hands.
Yeah.
and also a guy that had a good freshman year, like kind of comparable to Kurtz, where it's like very good, like freshman All-America type in 2017, 12 homers, hit 350. and then took the step to superstar in the next 2 years. So yeah, all that to say, I don't know where we go from here. It's tough to parse.
I would actually, Kendall's making like I'm kind of coming back to Kendall's place. Like I think I would vote Torque because even the shortened year, I don't have like intentional walks. I don't think shows up on normal stat pages, but I just remember in 2020. He was getting intentionally walked like it was Barry Bonds playing college baseball. Like it was
that's true.
Outrageous. And, to hit 20 home runs 2 years in a row. Like Torque was the first pick in the draft. We're not basing this on this, but that's a reflection of who he was in college. Like he was that dude.
He was intentionally walked 15 times in 82 plate appearances.
I mean, that's insanity.
That's on pace for, let's call it 45 to 50 intentional walks.
And it's not like they didn't have guys around him. That was a very good Arizona State team, with Workman and Hoover, and like they had some good players that helped them out. And still, nobody wanted anything to do with them.
Yeah, I would vote.
Yeah, had he kept the same pace that he started the season with, which was 6 home runs in 17 games, he would have hit 21 home runs. For the season.
Yeah,
and that's over 56 game schedule. So if they made a postseason run, could have hit him more.
Yeah.
He had a 600 on base percentage when the season ended.
I mean, that's
crazy. And it was so effortless.
Yeah. It was. I remember one time I saw him at Blair Field on a Tuesday night. You got the hashtag Marine layer in there, and he hit 2 balls like way up into that, just disappearing in the night. And it's like, you got no business doing that at Blair Field at night, and it's just like, who is it? It was as a true freshman. It was like early in his freshman year. And I was, it's just something you just don't see very much. You really don't.
Yeah. I second Joe's motion to Torque. Anybody? Any nays there?
I'm good with Torque.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Because I could talk myself around on all these guys. This is a good choice. I like it.
Yeah. Do we have 3 of our 4 choices, our first picks in the draft? Was Buster Posey a first pick in the draft, or he was not?
He was not. Should have been.
Gosh dang.
I think the Rays took Tim Beckham that year over Posey, if I'm not mistaken.
Good pick.
Is that right?
Really panned out.
How about that?
Didn't really.
All right, so we're going to the second Sackers. So our choices are Travis Bazzana, Oregon State; Nick Madrigal, Oregon State; Jim Negrich, Pittsburgh. Yep, thank you. Ricky Weeks, Southern; Cody Clemens, Texas; Jeff. No. That's our second baseman. Bazzana, Madrigal, Negrich, Weeks, Clemens.
I think Bazzana's the no-brainer, slam dunk.
Yeah. I don't love this group like overall, other than Bazzana.
Yeah. So I will say, for me, I think Ricky Weeks, and I know again the competition was what it was, but it was so insane, his production for 3 years. I mean, there's a reason he was was he number 1 pick? Yeah, way up there, number 2 or 3. I mean, he was a very high draft pick as well, because and wound up being a really good big leaguer because he had that kind of ability, and the numbers are insane. I mean, he did everything. He hit like close to 500,
471 for his career. Like that's not real life, right?
Like him getting a hit was a coin flip, a literal coin flip.
I mean, come on. Yeah, he's got my vote.
And
I like it.
And I get that it's the SWAC, but 2 things. One is that I don't know, but I'm assuming in 2002, 2003, whatever it was, the SWAC was not playing 30 league games, probably playing fewer. And then also being where they are regionally, I'm betting they played a lot of midweek games against pretty good teams. Minimally, I'm sure they were playing the teams in Louisiana. And so, they did have some opponents that, even if he didn't hit as well against those midweek opponents, that means he was hitting like 650 against the SWAC. So, like even if you could use that argument against him, it just means he was absolutely dominating his level.
They were trying to get him out, is what you're saying, Joe. Like they weren't not trying to,
Yeah, for sure. Like I think I said it on the original podcast, but hitting 500 basically in high school is impressive.
Yeah.
Much less Division I college players.
So there's so many things about his stat line that are bonkers. I mean, hitting 471 for his career over 3 years. I mean, 495 as a sophomore, that's okay. Hit 500. He hit an even 500 as a junior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bonkers. But also did it with power.
Yeah.
Hit 20 homers as a sophomore, 16 more as a junior had 50 in his career, and then this one leaps out at me: 32 triples.
Oh my gosh.
In 3 seasons! Like, get the heck
That
out
is
of
ridiculous.
32 triples.
And oh, by the way, could steal bases, did steal bases, 65 for 66 in his career. That'll play.
Yeah.
Didn't get caught stealing after his freshman year.
I mean, come on.
I think we have a winner.
Like,
yes.
I know it's kind of man among boys with the competition, but my God, it's just probably the most insane, like, raw numbers of anybody in the entire country.
Yeah. All right, boys, let's do. So our second baseman are Travis Bazzana, Ricky Weeks. That's a good squad. Let's do third base. Third base, Jeff Baker of Clemson in the heyday, early 2000s. Evan Longoria of Long Beach State. Alex Gordon of Nebraska. Anthony Rendon of Rice. Chris Bryant of San Diego. Pedro Alvarez of Vandy. So this group's kind of fun because it reminds me of great eras and great teams in these programs. But Baker, Longoria, Gordon, Rendon, Bryant, Alvarez. Any emotions?
Chris
I've already
Bryant.
written down Bryant. That's like Bazzana, complete no-brainer. Don't really even need to talk about it.
31 home runs in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, in an era where he hit more than how many Division I teams?
226 out of the 300 teams. He out-homered. University of Chris Bryant finished whatever.
How many home runs do we think that Chris Bryant would hit at modern-day Lindsey Nelson?
200.
Whatever.
Ruined like I abstain.
Yeah, that's right. I'll recuse myself.
And then it gets tricky. Yeah. So, I mean, I picked Alex Gordon in the draft, and I love that pick. I also, certainly Rendon. For me, it's probably one of those two guys.
Yeah.
We should probably break him down a little more detail here.
Pedro Alvarez is interesting to me because, like, he's part of that group that, introduced the new version of Vandy baseball to the world. That became, one of the programs of the decade in the 2010s. But I think I would land on Rendon. Like, I think Rendon was just, like, from the day he set foot on campus, when he was healthy, he was the best player on the field every day.
He was, for sure. But that if he was healthy is a factor.
Yeah,
because he lost some time to injury. I guess he wound up, he played 60-plus games all 3 years. I feel like he missed more time than that. I guess that junior year, though, I don't know if he just wasn't himself physically, or was coming off injury, or my memory isn't what it used to be, but he only hit 6 home runs that year.
His big injury, his draft year was 08, right? Or no, 10?
11.
11.
That Team USA. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, I don't know. I think wasn't his big injury in the postseason, so that year maybe it didn't,
that's right.
like when he tripped over the
Super regional. Yeah, the super regional at LSU, I think in Baton Rouge, right? He stepped on something.
At the bullpen mound.
Yeah. And then I think, was it the next year he got hurt in summer ball for Team USA, if I'm not mistaken? I don't know. God, memories aren't what they used to be.
Yeah. I would say this, Fitzy, for him, like, in this group, it's more home runs than anybody but Chris Bryant, more RBIs than any of them, and more walks than any of them, which I do think speaks to how scary of a hitter he was, and how, like, Rendon wasn't just like a slugger. Like, he was a hitter who just had lightning in his hands.
Yep. And it was obviously elite defense at third base. Elite defense. The walks. Like, how about this? He only had 6 home runs to junior, but he had 80 walks against 33 strikeouts.
That's wild.
Still hit 20 doubles, so he still did good stuff. But for me, I do have to knock him a little bit in this discussion because it's a 1043 OPS as a junior, right? Like, your junior year is like, and he never got to Omaha. Alex Gordon got Nebraska to Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
That is iconic for me.
Well, he had Java Chamberlain anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah. He was a big part of it. Won the Golden Spikes Award, was the number 1 overall pick, and got his team to Omaha. I just think that's very, very iconic. Again, like, Rice had very good teams and couldn't get to Omaha with Rendon. And so I think that's a little bit of a knock, and I think his junior year is a little bit of a knock.
It's referring to it as Alex Gordon getting Nebraska to Omaha is extremely disrespectful to Joe Simikaitis. That's really all I have to say about it.
That's fair.
Joe Simikaitis, if you're listening, I got you.
Joe will not stand for the Simikaitis slander. Will not.
That's right.
Will not sit down.
The Joes are sticking together on this one.
Yeah.
Joe Simikaitis.
I like it. I think that's there's a fair points you're bringing up there. I would still vote Rendon, but I think this is fair. Kendall, where would you come down on Rendon versus Alex Gordon?
I mean, I drafted Rendon, so it'd be kind of weird for me to not pick Anthony Rendon.
Joe?
Yeah, I go Rendon, but man, we're talking about two players that really are very prominent in my memories of certain eras of college baseball for sure.
This is Gordon was the first pick in the draft, and I'm the coach saying, I don't know if he can play for us. I'm sorry. Toughest.
In fairness, you got spoiled, Runes, because you coached at ASU, so you're used to having to make tough decisions with talented players.
We would have taken Alex Gordon. I can promise you. I can absolutely promise you. All right, we ready for shortstop, boys? Fitzy, go ahead.
Certainly love Rendon as a player, and I will respectfully admit defeat on this vote, and we'll move on.
Yeah, dissenting opinion is duly noted. Well done. All right.
You appreciate your love.
That's right. Shortstops. Dustin Pedroia of Arizona State, Vahiva Aloy of Arkansas, Khalil Green of Clemson, Alex Lodis of Florida State, Alex Bregman of LSU, Chris Burke of Tennessee, Rock Chalowski of UCLA, Dansby Swanson of Vanderbilt. Holy heck, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
This is where we have to remind ourselves that we do have some extra roster spots here, right?
Yeah.
So some of these guys left on the cutting room floor, these really tough positions, could find their way onto the roster somewhere else. Like we have a pinch hitter spot, a pinch runner spot, a utility guy, a defensive specialist. So yeah.
I'll motion Khalil Green as a name.
Yeah, I mean, 27 homers, 91 RBIs, his senior year, by the way, not his junior year, but his senior year. A 1.429 OPS, just bonkers numbers.
And I think it does. While I think it might have been a knock at the time, like from a draft perspective for him, I think for this exercise, the fact that he was a 4-year player, I think helps his case, not just in terms of counting numbers, because that's obvious, but I just mean in terms of being a 4-year guy.
How about this too? Go ahead, Fitzy.
Oh, just a quick clarity on that. The only 2 of those years are in our sample size, 01 and 02.
Very good call.
So he doesn't actually get any credit for the first.
Fair enough.
So his by far his 2 best seasons. From a power standpoint, they count. So that senior year that we just talked about, he had 22 strikeouts at 285 at bats and walked 46 times. That's pretty damn good.
With a 14.26 OPS, which is bonkers. It's not only 27 home runs, but it's 33 doubles. I mean, good God.
Hey, can I nominate
in the ACC?
I want to nominate Dustin Pedroia for the defensive specialist position. He was National Defensive Player of the Year 2 years in a row. And I think we're just going to be in a real pickle here at shortstop. So that gets Pedroia on the team. And now we might run into
I see what Runes is doing there.
What do they call this in politics? Isn't this horse trading?
Well, this is pork barrel stuff right here.
So we gerrymandered on Anthony Rendon by having me and Joe be Houston guys voting for this. Now we're pork barreling.
Oh my God!
So we got all of our bases covered.
Gosh, who doesn't like a good pork barrel podcast? So we may find a better defensive specialist down the line, but we got to get rid of some shortstops here, and we've already kind of picked Khalil Green.
Yeah.
So here's
after that, it's tough. I will say this. Hopefully I don't get hate mail. Like I think we can take Aloy off the board against some of these other guys personally.
Yeah, Aloy and Lodis and Rock Chalowski, maybe recency bias is working against them. But
I mean, I love Rock, but I can't call you Alex Bregman yet.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that they split the awards this year, I think, is a little bit of a knock against them too. Like they all kind of eliminate each other in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Aloy as a second team All-American because we went with Chalowski and Lodis for our two first team spots. There's only so many shortstops you can put on there, and I know Aloy won Golden Spikes Award, but he was third for us. Yeah. So yes, I agree with you to your point. They all kind of eliminate each other.
Here's a tough decision. We got to decide between Bregman and Swanson. We got to rank them, in my opinion. And I think I would rank Bregman.
Are you just discounting Chris Burke?
No, Berkey's still in the conversation, but I'm saying there's no way around us having to figure out who would we pick, Swanson or Bregman.
Yeah. It's been left to us to relitigate that debate, which is lovely.
Yeah. I think I'm taking Bregman there. I'll throw that out there.
I mean, I voted for Bregman, so I'm obviously taking Bregman. But honestly, I think I'd take Chris Burke over the both of them. I mean, when you talk about dynamic in a way that Swanson and Bregman, also obviously very good players, but Chris Burke was the most dynamic player in college baseball that season. And it has elements of his game those other two guys just didn't, right? Neither of them were stealing bases like Chris Burke was. And yes, Chris Burke played in an extremely offensive environment, but I mean, he was also an extremely effective hitter. The defensive piece was there. He was doing things that I think those other two just weren't. So I think I'm going Chris Burke.
I'm biased.
Berkey hit 400 over 400 his final two seasons. Hit 435 his final season with the Volunteers.
And the fact that it's average and not that he hit a bunch of home runs during an extremely offensive era, I feel like helps his case because that era also did have high batting averages, but it's not quite the same.
Okay, so no.
Yeah, and kind of thinking back to Bregman, and again, kind of like Fitzy earlier, I'm kind of running a wall on which year it was. But I mean, didn't he have a 15 or 16 game in a row streak where he didn't get a hit? So there's a whole big blow up because the LSU media kind of went after him and he kind of popped off back at them. But there was a point in time where he didn't get a hit for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. It might even, I think it was his sophomore year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was an iconic LSU player, no question about it. He was a great LSU player. He played in a dead offense era. I mean, and that's, not his fault, but I mean, the numbers are just so far below, and the same is true for Swanson really. But I mean, Bregman never had a double-digit home run season, and I know the balls weren't flying, but Chris Bryant had 31 one of those seasons, I mean,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just
it's not like he played in an ultra pitcher-friendly league or something like that either.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and he had that great freshman year where he hit 369. Next 2 years, it's kind of modest, 316, 323, OPS 852 as a sophomore, 947. Just good, really good player, great player, iconic player. But I just don't think you could take him over Burke the way that Berkey filled up the stat lines. And
Runes, I'll throw this one back at you. So let's just go ahead and take Bregman and Swanson off the board, Chalowski off the board. I mean, how would you size up Pedroia versus Berkey?
I would say, Pedroia didn't run like Berkey did in college, and he didn't even. I think Pedroia hit 9 or 11 home runs his junior year. I mean, Pedroia's thing was 34 doubles his sophomore year. Yeah. That was never matched in Pac-10 history. But I think, and Pedroia was a better defender than Berkey. Berkey was a great defender, but not Pedroia was, elite. But I think I'm the thing with Swanson and Bregman. Here's the thing: Berkey, the ding on his resume is he played in one NCAA tournament out of 3 years, and he had one double-digit home run season. I think Berkey, it's a great study in how you go from a really good player to I say it all the time. The two best position players I coached against in my college career were Berkey and Chase Utley. They were the two dudes where it's holy heck, what are we supposed to do with this guy? And so I think that tells you my conviction in Berkey's career. But, and Swanson didn't play. He redshirted as a freshman, so it's really a 2-year career. But those teams were unbelievable. And Bregman, you said it perfectly, Fitzy. Bregman was an iconic LSU player. Played in Omaha as a freshman, but he, the numbers are a little light.
Very steady, but not quite. He didn't ever have the really, truly eye-popping season.
Can I give you a crazy stat on Dustin Pedroia?
Yeah.
47 strikeouts and 777 career college at bats.
Yep.
How many walks?
Like 180 or something.
He had 24 as a freshman, 36 as a sophomore, and 48 as a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was anytime he struck out, you were shocked. So,
gosh.
Yeah, this is tough. Like I think who we don't take here will go into some of these other spots like pinch runner, defensive specialist, pinch hitter. Go ahead, Fitzy.
I'm coming back around on the Pedroia suggestion just because, like, yes, he never had a double-digit home run season, and that's a knock against him. I played, at Arizona State in a pretty offensive time, but obviously all the doubles, the walks, hitting 400 or 404 as a sophomore, 393 as a junior, playing great defense. That is a position where defense really matters. And he played elite defense while also doing a lot of other things. Even though really the only knock on him is the lack of home runs. But I mean, like at that position, and also there's, you give him extra credit for 3 years of excellence, whereas Berkey had really just the 1 year in our sample size, and even the 2 years before that, they weren't in our sample size. It was not nowhere close to what it was as a junior. So, I feel like totality of the career, maybe coming back around on Pedroia.
I mean, maybe. I was the one that suggested Berkey, and the fact that, it is just in our sample size. If I'm going to stick to, and I've been hammering this, so I should, that it's accomplishments, not talent or not ability. Because that's part of with Berkey. It's just hard for me to look past how dynamic he was, but that's not what we're measuring here. It's accomplishment. And so I maybe I'm with you.
Here's the thing, too. Swanson only played 1 year as shortstop, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's true. You are correct. And Bregman started out. He played second base.
I do feel like he played short for 3 years, Bregman. I feel like he was plug and play.
Right. Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right.
So what do we? Do we want to do this?
So what's really crazy about? Well, what's really crazy about Berkey and Dustin Pedroia? You know how many strikeouts Berkey had, and by the way, the same number of at bats in their career. 78.
Compared with
Dustin Pedroia.
One
strikeout difference between the two.
That's wild.
Did they have literally
the same number of career bats?
The exact same number?
I'll do it again while you're talking.
Well, I don't doubt you. That would be a crazy coincidence if they had the exact same number.
It would be.
I believe you, but
yeah, same number of bats.
That's crazy.
That is
crazy,
wild. So I guess we could put Pedroia in there as the placeholder, and let's see how this plays out with those ancillary spots.
That's a good idea.
I definitely like Coach Burke in a spot somewhere.
And I'll correct the record. My memory just letting me down. You're right. Bregman did play shortstop all 3 years. I feel like there was talk of him playing second base heading into his freshman year, and he was like, "No, I'm the shortstop," and he just never let it go. Anyway,
he definitely was kind of a you mentioned him being an iconic LSU player. That's part of it. He was definitely there was a cult of personality thing about him at LSU.
No doubt.
Yep.
Which I say in a positive way, not
of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right, boys, let's do the outfielders. So we've got Bregman, Swanson, and Berkey that are still kind of we're trying to find a spot for them. We'll see. All right, so let's go outfielders. We got a lot of choices. Andrew Benintendi, Seth Beer, Wyatt Langford, James Ramsey, Kellen Kubacki, Corey Ray, Dylan Cruz, Kyle Lewis, Ryan Braun, Steve Stanley, Jacoby Ellsbury, Enrique Bradfield Jr. Who's obvious there?
The two for me that I definitely want on there, and we'll see what you guys think. Dylan Cruz and Jacoby Ellsbury would be 2 of the 6 for sure for me.
Cruz for sure.
Yeah, Cruz for sure. I just don't. I feel like Ellsbury, that's more of y'all's era, so I just feel like I'm maybe not quite. Yeah. I would like to hear an argument for him.
I love the fact that in addition to being an ultra productive guy, his teams and him to some extent was like the guys that got Oregon State to what Oregon State is, and that matters to me.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it should matter.
Yeah, he was. And now his junior year was 2005, so it was their first Omaha team, and that was the one that really did get them kind of over the hump. But he was not on the glory, the 2 championship teams. So for But I made the same case when I drafted him in our previous podcast. I do think that he was a very important player for a very important program, and hit 400 as a junior with some steals and some doubles. So again, another guy that never had a double-digit home run season, but had three very good seasons, and I would say his junior season ranks as excellent. But even though I drafted him, he's not an automatic selection here for me yet.
I'm just now kind of realizing that we're actually potentially going to have a really difficult discussion at pinch runner with Enrique Bradfield here and Chris Burke sitting here and Steve Stanley in the mix here. I thought that might be a nice place to stash somebody. Now all of a sudden I'm looking up and realizing that it actually might be a pretty heavily debated spot. Because I say that to say I'm looking at Bradfield, and I just think his batting stats are probably a little shy for this group. No, again, he wasn't a power guy, but I'd kind of forgotten that he hit under 280 in his junior year for Vanderbilt and 317 the year before, which is good, not great. But the 134 stolen bases, I'm sorry, wrong number, 130 stolen bases over 3 years, obviously is just incredible consistency.
Hey, Ryan Braun is a name that I think we have to examine. I feel like I kind of glossed over him when we did the draft. Like career 365 hitter, a bunch of home runs. Like he was a really complete.
Yeah, but did we find out we had him at the wrong position?
Played third base, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody wants to complain about the sheet. Nobody wants.
But again, my memory is fallible.
We need to get Aaron on the ginkgo biloba. The way this is going,
tough scene.
We got 6 spots. We have 5 spots in the outfield. Seth Beer is someone I've got great conviction on. Like his career was just incredible. Power and walks, like on base and tons of power.
Yeah, his freshman season was stupid.
If we don't have Wyatt Langford on here, I think Berkey is going to be driving us all crazy. Even though,
first of all, I'm for Wyatt Langford, but also
if we don't have Langford on here,
funny to me that Chris Burke's going to be more upset if we don't put him on there versus Chris Burke himself being on the team.
Yes,
he would be more upset if we leave Wyatt Langford off.
That's right, and he was the first outfielder off the board. Joe, you took him first, so I think,
that's fair.
That'd be my convicted first 3 is Cruz, Langford, Beer.
I think I'm with you.
Good with that.
Boy, now it gets tough.
Yeah, now is when it starts to get sticky.
I think Kyle Lewis is a name to take a hard look at. Another guy that won the Golden Spikes Award, and if I'm not mistaken, was he the number 1 overall pick?
11th overall.
Okay.
I just happen to be looking at it.
You're right.
Is it like what I'm trying to pull up his career numbers? Like, is it fair to call him a one-hit wonder? It feels not fair to say that, but his junior year was crazy, right?
Yeah, two excellent years. Had 17 home runs in 2015 as a sophomore with an 1100 OPS, and then 20 more home runs with a 1266 OPS as a junior. And again, this is that same era where people like Bregman weren't even reaching double-digit home runs.
Yeah.
As a comparison, yes, but I will say 15 and 16, we did switch to the lower seam balls. And so it wasn't the total dead ball, dead bat era. That was 11 through 14. But how much does, just as a point of debate, how much does the Mercer of it all, not because that program, but I mean because the ballpark?
Yeah.
It's a factor. It is a little bit of a bandbox. Is that the word? Is it bandbox? B-A-N-D? Yeah. I thought
trust your instincts.
I got in my head about that one.
I'm really coming around on Jacoby Ellsbury right now.
Okay.
I think so too. Now that we've kind of taken a longer look at everyone else, I am really kind of compelled by the narrative of Jacoby Ellsbury as a part of the Oregon State history.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So we have 2 more spots in the outfield.
Yeah, Cruz, Langford, Beer, Ellsbury. We got 2 more spots. You've got still on the board Benintendi, Ramsey, Kolbacki from JMU, Corey Ray, Kyle Lewis, Ryan Braun, Steve Stanley, EBJ.
Stanley had well, 2 career home runs in 4 seasons. That wasn't his game, though. He was a speed guy, and he did steal 116 bags, but also got caught 35 times. So he can't be my pinch runner, coach. That's not a high enough percentage. Get out of here.
Yeah. EBJ feels like he's going to be tough to catch at pinch runner.
So
I kind of like Kyle Lewis right now.
Yeah, I think I do too.
He looked the part, like massive dude, good athlete. I don't see anyone else on there like more compelling than him.
I think I'm with you. Kyle Lewis, that's 5. Cruz, Beer, Langford, Ellsbury, Lewis. Do we need to look at Benintendi? I know it's...
I drafted him, Fitzy, but it was really like 1 season, and he was a draft-eligible sophomore.
Yeah, he did not have a good freshman year.
Yeah. What about, like, I know Braun, the position is what it is, but like that was Miami was like crazy good during that time, and it was like he was like in the Pat Burrell conversations. Like he was also an iconic Miami player.
He broke some of Pat Burrell's freshman records, and he was the National Freshman of the Year. So it's just a matter of like, how hung up do we get on the positional piece of it? It was long enough ago that it is hard to get like a game by game breakdown of where he played defensively, because that's what I've been furiously Googling. But
let's stick with Braun.
I think he's unimpeachable in terms of the accomplishments and the numbers.
Yep.
Is my hunch.
Let's see.
So that would mean
we need like John Manuel to call in and give us like
there's a guy whose memory is unimpeachable.
That's right.
He would put us all to shame in that department.
So we're passing on Benintendi, Ramsey, Kubacki, Corey Ray, Steve Stanley, and EBJ, unless they end up on one of these other spots. Our group is Cruz, Langford, Beer, Ellsbury, Lewis, Braun. It's a pretty good outfield.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I like our chance.
Yeah, and it's also just like when we start to talk about guys like, and this is more me working this out in my head. Like I got a little hung up on some of the stuff, but ultimately, like if we're ranking accomplishments that may put you on this list and deserve to put you on this list, being a Golden Spikes winner is probably, if not one with a bullet, it's 1B to a 1A of something else. Like it's it's hard to argue with being a Golden Spikes winner.
Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead, Fitzy.
Yeah. So I really would like to try to pin down where Braun played, because again, I just feel like he was just a third baseman. I don't think he played any outfield at Miami.
Maybe we're the ones converting him to the outfield.
We could, I guess.
I guess. I mean, we've gone this far down the road with it.
Hey, while you're still in on that, Fitzy, let's talk about these other. So now we have 4 spots to work through: pinch hitter, pinch runner, utility, defensive specialist. Can we agree that EBJ is going to be our pinch runner? Like he's probably the best base runner of this 25-year period.
I think that's probably that's where my thought is.
Yep. Good with that.
And then let me just remind us that like names that we'd love to get in the mix are Bregman, Swanson, and Berkey. So
out of that group, I think Bregman probably the best defender if we wanted to go that route.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so defensive specialist is Alex Bregman. And then utility.
You could shift him around too. Play third base, second base. Is a good.
Could we also just put Ryan Braun at utility?
Ooh. DH
because that doesn't mean two-way player, because we have spots for two-way players. Utility just literally means utility player.
We always have DH spots. Why can't we do that?
The only thing I don't like about that is the shortstops we're going to end up leaving out. I don't love leaving out. I feel like we're going to leave out an iconic shortstop for a 6th outfielder or 7th, really.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Well, it would be really, so at the moment, like if we have 5 outfielders And then, like, why don't we just go 5 outfielders and put Braun on the team as like a DH utility guy?
I like it.
Unless there's somebody else we want from another position. Like we had some tough. Alex Gordon. I mean,
Yeah,
tough cut for me.
that was a tough cut.
Frankly, like Gordon was the better player than Braun. Their draft year. They're both 05 drafts. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go back on this. I'd rather have Gordon than Braun on the team. Gordon won the Golden Spikes Award.
Okay, so let's do this, Fitzy. Let's just stand, because the outfielder. Let's just leave Braun in the outfield for 1 second. So pinch hitter and utility player. We could then go. We could pick 2 of these 3 players. We could pick Swanson, Burke, Gordon. We could pick 2 of them for pinch hitter and utility player.
Okay, so we've got 2 spots left for position players. You're telling me?
Yes, 2 spots left. Pinch hitter:
Gordon,
Berkey, and Swanson.
Yeah, I think Gordon for me has got to be on there.
So Gordon is the pinch hitter?
I think he's probably the pinch hitter. Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
And then utility, just go with Burke.
And I guess what we're saying there, like in fairness to Dansby Swanson, is he really was a 2-year player. And
wasn't a shortstop all 3 years, like.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, the knock on Burke for this exercise is they only played 1 year in the sample, but it was such an absurd year, and to Joe's point, he was just so dynamic that I think it's the right. I just think he was a much more dynamic player than Dansby.
He was in fact the SEC Player of the Year. Now that's not really Dansby's fault if you think about it, because it's your last year in the league is Benintendi and Bregman, but. I mean, we knew there was going to be just a brutal, to.
For what it's worth, D1Baseball, we gave Swanson our National Player of the Year award over the Golden Spikes Award winner Benintendi. Another one of those split decisions, but it was really, there was no clear cut answer. Like it's not like Dansby was clearly the best player that year. It was very much like make your pick. Then again, I mean, Berkey, as I've talked about before, got robbed of the Golden Spikes Award by your man Mark Pryor. # justice for Berkey.
And just to be clear, like utility would be the one spot where we'd have to make sure we're clear minded. Berkey versus Dansby Swanson. They're probably both 2 very good candidates for you. They are 2 great candidates for utility. Berkey's got 1 year in the sample, and it's an all-time great season. It's 20 home runs, 50 steals, play shortstop, SEC Player of the Year. Take and really run your team to Omaha. Dansby is, it's a national title and it's a runner-up. It's 46 extra base hits. He was incredible for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. The bar is high for this team. That's for sure. It does appear that Ryan Braun came into Miami as a shortstop, moved to third base. So do we want to do the DH move to do the workaround with Ryan Braun? Admitting our mistake that, we had him mispositioned in our original draft.
So we'll just make him the DH, is what you're saying, Joe?
Just make him the DH.
Yeah.
And we can even, the listeners will obviously know this as it happens, but when we print the team, we can make a note of that. That's just we just made a mistake, but he deserves to be on merit.
Yeah.
Let's just make him the DH.
I like it. Yeah, the only one I'm really torn here is Berkey versus Dansby. We just can't have both of them, and it's there is no right answer. They're 2 all-time great players from this time period.
Yep.
So
I feel some conviction in Burke over Dansby, but it's
I do as well, for the record, just so you're not just kind of dangling out there by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yep.
Kendall's been quiet,
especially the speed component.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, this is again, rich.
This is hard for a reason.
Rich people problems, right? We can't decide between an SEC Player of the Year and a first pick in the draft. These are good problems. So that is your quarter-century position players. Let me read them off. Catcher, Buster Posey. The 2 catchers, Buster Posey, Adley Rushman. First base is Dustin Ackley and Spencer Torkelson. Second base, Travis Bazzana and Ricky Weeks. Third base, Chris Bryant and Anthony Rendon. Shortstop, Khalil Green and Dustin Pedroia. Outfielders, Dylan Cruz, Wyatt Langford, Seth Beard, Jacoby Ellsbury, Kyle Lewis, Ryan Braun is our DH. Alex Gordon is a pinch hitter off the bench. Enrique Bradfield Jr. is our pinch runner. Good luck with that. Slowing that running game down. Chris Burke is our utility player. Alex Bregman, our defensive specialist. Boys, if we lose a game, we're not getting fired. We're quitting. We will resign immediately.
That's right.
Yes.
In disgrace.
In disgrace. Yes. That's it. That team is so good. We don't even need pitchers. We could just, see if you could make 3 outs by yourself and we'll outscore you. But we are going to have pitchers. We're going to do that. And this group is spectacular. Again, these are players from 2001 to 2025 is our time period. We're going to do 7 starting pitchers. We're going to do 5 relievers and then 2 two-way players. So 14 arms. And then we will call it a squad. So I'm not going to read off all the starting pitchers, but Joe, why don't you let's just kind of I think there's 3 pitchers that we can't not have on this team, but maybe we start there. Who are the guys that have to be on here?
Well, I'm going to go Paul Skeens first off. I mean, the most dominant pitcher that certainly I've ever seen doing this. Do you want me to do one, or do you want me to give you a couple?
You can go a couple. Why is he not our catcher, by the way? Just kidding.
Well, because we're discriminating.
24 home runs at Air Force over 2 years, but
I would also throw Steven Strasburg in that mix because he was kind of had a Paul Skeens season before Paul Skeens. And then this one, maybe there's more of a debate, but for me, I would throw Mark Pryor onto this list.
Amen to all 3 for me.
Yep.
Strasburg is B-U-R-G or B-E-R-G? How do I not know that?
B-U.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and launch right in on my Michael Roth pitch because I just think he is one of the most iconic and accomplished pitchers of this era. Not the best prospect of the era. He was not an elite draft pick or a great big leaguer, but he did get to the big leagues. But again, as I talked about in the last show, the center, the centerpiece really of 3 straight teams that made the College World Series finals and won 2 of those championships. He was their ace in 11 and 12. He was iconic with his performance as a sophomore in 10. When he was a left-handed specialist, a good left-handed specialist, but that was his role all year long. And then all of a sudden when they needed an Omaha, boom, here he is, turning in these historic performances, kind of launched that dynasty. And the numbers too are there. I mean, it's, we talk about his Omaha impact, which alone I think is almost enough to get him on this team. But I mean, also the best pitcher in the country in 2011 when he had again, it's crazy. I know it's a pitching era, but he had a 1.06 ERA. I mean, 1.06 ERA, and then the year before that is 1.34. I just think he's a no-brainer. It's got to be on here.
Yeah, I don't again. If this was an all-talent team, he wouldn't be on it. But it's an accomplishment team, and his pitching year, the year he had a 106, is like the pitching version of the Chris Bryant year, where it was such an outlier. And yes, it was an outlier in the other direction because it was a pitching dominant era, but that's still just absurd. For someone that threw as many innings as he did, played in the SEC, it's not like he's playing in a smaller league. We could go on and on, but I think I'm with you.
106 ERA in 145 innings. 145 innings. It's a 106 ERA and won it all.
Yeah.
Can I give you someone who has to be on here if we're going to put Michael Roth on here? How about a guy with 192 more strikeouts than Michael Roth in his career and Trevor Bauer? 192 more strikeouts than Michael Roth, who, by the way, pitched 4 years at South Carolina.
I mean, Bauer's going to be hard to leave off. I'm with you, kind of he was on my top of my list here, 34-8, a 2.3. I mean, everybody's ERA on this list is bonkers, but 15 complete
Roth,
games.
He's not Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, you're right. He beat Trevor Bauer when they went. He beat Trevor Bauer's team for the national championship.
Was he actually the one who beat Trevor Bauer?
His team beats Trevor Bauer's team when they went head-to-head for the national championship. Eat it,
but again, it is a good debate, but it's again, Trevor Bauer is clearly the better prospect, better pitcher, but Michael Roth was more accomplished.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's even the better pitcher.
I don't know about more accomplished.
I mean, he won 2 national titles.
Yeah. I think they.
That's not really my measuring stick for like a singular player.
Well, but it is one. Like we're not.
It is one. Yeah, it's one component of many.
Being the guy for a staff that won 2 national championships, almost won another one, and by the way, back-to-back years with ERAs on the ones while doing it. Like, I just think it's an absurdly good resume.
I'm okay. I'm good with Michael Roth. I'm just saying if Roth is in, Bauer has to be in.
I'm fine putting Bauer on. I mean, his junior year, I mean, obviously 3 really good years, but his junior year with a 1.25 ERA, 203 strikeouts and 136 innings.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the other guy on this list that I have the most conviction in, frankly, is Tim Lincecum.
Yep. Hey, let me give you.
Incredible.
Let me give you guys a subset and see if you like this subset, or I guess most importantly, who am I missing from this subset? So, Michael Roth, Jared Weaver, Tim Lincecum, Mike Leake, Trevor Bauer, Shane Kamini, Kumar Rocker, Thomas Eshelman, like those. Like that's kind of my starting group for the next 4 spots. Tell me who I'm missing or who is egregious that didn't make that cut.
I mean, the reality is we're gonna.
Okay, KP.
That's a joke for like 7 people. We're gonna end up leaving some guys on that I never would have imagined us leaving off. You know what I mean? Yep. Like there's going to be guys left in the cutting room floor that if you'd have told me before we hit record, they're not going to make the final cut, I would have thought you were crazy. But the numbers are what the numbers are. Like we only have the spots we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're going to throw in a couple other names for consideration, maybe Aaron Nola, and Carlos Rodon.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Jared Weaver, I feel like it's just got to be on there.
Yeah, I have conviction there too.
Again, it's, a fairly offensive era that he pitched in. Granted, he pitched at Long Beach, but I mean, it's back-to-back years, sub-2 ERA. 213 strikeouts against 21 walks as a junior when he had a 1.63 ERA and went 15-1, won the Golden Spikes Award. Just crazy stuff.
Gosh, I think if I had to pick 4 of that group, I think I would go. I'm just going to take a first crack at this. I would go Roth, Weaver, Kamini, and now I've got to decide between. Gosh, this is impossible. I would go Bauer over Lincecum. This is impossible.
I think I would. I mean, Bauer won the Golden Spikes as well.
Yeah.
So did Lincecum. Okay, although that was one of those split decisions. I know we gave our award to Andrew Miller at Baseball America, but Lincecum won the Golden Spikes, so that was not a unanimous one. But
got it. Okay. The tricky part with Shane Komine is that only 2 of his 4 years fall under this.
Oh, okay.
Our purview. So now, granted, his freshman year he was just kind of good, not great. So like we are losing one of the years that maybe even drags his numbers down a little bit, but it is worth considering if we're talking tiebreakers, that might be one that he only 2 of the 4 years are for consideration here.
Yep.
Because don't get me wrong, like I'm inclined to vote that way. I did draft him for a reason.
And also like those first 2 years of this sample size, that Nebraska going to Omaha back-to-back years is just, they were like the bottom of the Big 8. And next thing you know, they're in Omaha back-to-back years and just missed a 3rd year. Outside the sample, of course, but.
Yeah.
Did you say 7 starting pitcher spots?
Yes.
Correct. So by my count, we've got 6: Skeen, Strasburg, Pryor, Roth, Weaver, Bauer.
Yeah, so then it would be Komini versus Lincecum if we went that route.
Or, Kamini, Lincecum, Rocker, I would put in that discussion. I
put Leake and Eshelman in there. I mean, Eshelman is just, outrageous. I mean, Leake is, made 47 starts, went 40-6 on 3 great teams. But, again, these guys all have ridiculous resumes. You know, the Eshelman thing is just, it's so interesting because it'll never happen again, right? We'll never have a guy have 28 wins and 18 walks. It's just not even possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know to what degree this ends up being a metric we're using, but like when you talk about that era of college baseball, he's who I think of.
Yeah. I didn't even realize his ERA the whole time was 1.65. That's outrageous.
Gosh.
Over 50 starts.
That's outrageous. I do want to also, just because this is one that we omitted from the previous podcast that deserves at least a mention. Our friend Coach Farron called us out for not even talking about Preston Morrison for TCU, who's kind of in that same mold of the Eshelmans and the Roths when it comes to like not necessarily like the elite pro guy, not going to blow you away with stuff, but just a incredibly important pitcher for TCU from 2012 to 15 when that program was really rolling. I mean, career ERA over those 4 years, 1.85. You know, very, very Eshelman-esque. 1.32 in his best year, 2014. God, the ERAs in that era were silly.
We had a real problem.
We had a bit of a problem. But yeah, Eshelman, and to do it 3 years in a row, 3 years in a row with ERAs in the ones, plus the strikeout. Well, I think I go Eshelman. Gosh, I know I know the era is a little bit of an asterisk, but my gosh, like more wins than walks over 376 career innings. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, just a 1.6 ERA over 50 starts is like, there's just no way. That'll never happen again.
321 strikeouts against 18 walks in 376 innings. I mean, it's just so.
And that's the thing too. Like, we can't talk about him without talking about the era, but throwing the ball in the strike zone was the one thing you could that had not changed, right? Like now you were more emboldened to throw strikes because you weren't as afraid of contact. I get that. But to not accidentally walk more than that is pretty absurd. Yeah. Like, just to not have more instances where you just couldn't grip the baseball properly, you know, or whatever. Like, just it's just nuts.
Yeah.
It was a lower strikeout rate, though. I mean, I guess if we're picking nits, it's, you know, far less than a strikeout per inning. 321 strikeouts in 76 innings, whereas like Lincecum was just the total opposite style pitcher, right? I mean, it's like tons of strikeouts and also tons of walks. And for me, like that's a little bit of a knock on Lincecum because even his junior year when he won the Golden Spikes Award and had a 1.94 ERA, it was still 63 walks, you know, in 125 innings. That's a high walk rate. He was just so electric that he could get away with it. But, you know, previous 2 years, I mean, 82 walks and then 71 walks, and he still was great. But he was great, just, you know, in spite of that. And that's a little bit of a blemish for me. It always has been, really.
I think so. The proposal right now, and I think I'm in, would be the last four spots are Michael Roth, Jared Weaver, Trevor Bauer, Thomas Eshelman, and like we're leaving out Lincecum, Leak, Comini, Rocker, but like Preston Morrison, but yeah, like Roth, Weaver, Bauer, Eshelman. Those are outrageous careers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And we didn't even talk about guys like Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
And good. I looked up Andrew Miller, and he, very good. Just doesn't quite stack up because I got done looking at his numbers. Like, just doesn't quite.
David Price.
David Price.
Yeah. I go Eshelman. I think just the fact that he is a little bit of an avatar for that particular time in college baseball matters to me. I'm not saying it has to matter to everyone else, but it does to me a little bit. And if we are kind of having to, split some hairs here, that is the kind of thing I think about.
Yep. All right. We can come back to it if anybody gets
Yeah, I'm good with Eshelman.
Yeah.
He was kind of a unicorn.
Skeen, Strasburg, Pryor, Roth, Weaver, Bauer, Eshelman. I mean, man, that is a crew right there.
I do like that we do have like variety in that pitching staff. Like, it's not just we have a lot of guys who can throw it past you, but it's not just that. Like, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a good crew.
Even Weaver, I mean, it was a great fastball, but it wasn't like high 90s, it was just exploded on you.
All right, so relievers will be, in theory, a little bit easier because we have 5 and we've got not as many, we don't have that many choices. But so the relievers on our board are Kevin Kopps, Houston Street, David Berg, Kevin Kopps of Arkansas, Houston Street of Texas, David Berg of UCLA, Matt Price, South Carolina, Blair Erickson, UC Irvine, Chad Cordero, Cal State Fullerton, Ryan Wagner, Houston, David Bush, Wake Forest. Can we all agree David Berg's got to be on here?
Yeah.
So David Berg.
Agreed.
Yes.
The GOAT for my money. Relief pitchers. Houston Street, another no-brainer for me.
Yep, I agree with that.
Matt Price for me would be. You could argue that he was just about as important as Michael Roth was for those South Carolina championship runs.
The legacy piece really does matter for me on that one. With the
he was such nails.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It's like it plays, his legacy plays above the numbers because it's it's a little bit of a higher ERA for this list, 2.77. But he was such a workhorse right out of the bullpen for him, and had so many of those iconic.
It was basically. If I remember right, they basically would throw Roth or another starter 7 innings. Was it John Taylor 1 inning? And they would come out with Price, and when Price came in, even John Taylor, when Price came in, it was game over.
I really want, and it was they would extend him in Omaha too. You need him to go 5 innings, rescue you, sure, here he is.
Yeah, I'm very much in favor of Matt Price. I just want to throw this out there. I want Kevin Kopps on here because I think that season they were the number 1 team in the country, and there was no question who the MVP of that team was.
Yeah. He was a reliever who won the Golden Spikes Award.
To do that is absurd. So yes, agreed.
And so then if we went 4. That way, see, the problem is...
So we have 1 spot left?
How do I not pick Chad? Ryan Wagner, I think David Bush, the ERA, David Bush, I drafted him. His career was awesome, but I would just eliminate him on ERA, even though that was...
I would go with Chief here.
I think so.
Now, let me just, Chief, I love that choice, but let me just throw this out here for Wagner. 212 strikeouts in 122 innings over 2 years. He basically struck out 2 an inning for 2 years.
How many innings was it?
It was 122 innings and 212 strikeouts.
Oof. Chief had also exactly 212 strikeouts, but did it in 176 innings, which, on the one hand, you give Wagner the nod for the strikeout rate, but on the other hand, you give, Cordero an advantage for just volume of work. That's a lot of production, a lot of elite production. The 2.09 ERA over 176 innings in, again, an offensive era. That's
he pitched in. He also pitched in 111 games over 3 years. Chad Cordero.
Yep, 2 Omaha teams.
Crazy.
Did not win it all, but got to the championship in 03, right?
The Final Four, not the that was Stanford and Rice was the title, but they were Final Four. I'm almost certain of that.
John Hudgens Stanford in 2003.
Right.
Yeah, but Cordero was ridiculous. It was very good fastball and slider from over the top, and then he would throw sidearm. It was like kind of Michael Roth with even more stuff. At the end of a game, he was outrageous.
I think that's my vote.
Yeah,
I think so. I think so too. For Ryan Wagner, if we're just going off one season samples, that 03 season might be the single best season for any reliever on this list. His strikeout rate that season was 16.79 per 9 innings.
Good grief.
Which is just absurd. But he gets weighed down a little bit by the fact that the year before was, by comparison, not as good. It was still excellent, but just not as good. So Cordero is where my mind goes.
Yeah.
And Cordero doing it for a couple Omaha teams during a really iconic era for that program.
Yep. Blair Erickson gets he's the saves leader here, and those were good Irvine teams, but he's kind of like the counting stats guy, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, for me,
who did I miss? Read off our relievers to
David Berg, Houston Street, Kevin Kopps, Matt Price, Chad Cordero.
I forgot to write Matt Price down.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good crew. All right, two-way players we've got to pick 2 of these 4: AJ Reed, Brendan McKay, Brad Lincoln, Jack Caglione.
Okay, well, Cags is an obvious one, right?
Yeah, I think there's.
Well,
two
I was going to say
obvious
McKay
ones.
is the obvious one. I think McKay is.
Well,
is
I mean,
slam
okay,
dunk.
then maybe it's just McKay and Cags, and we move on with our lives.
I mean, I'm not 100% ready to automatically give it to Cags over Reed. I know that's a controversial take because the talent discrepancy is what it is, but
I mean, I would take I would take Micah Owings over AJ Reed.
Well, that's where I just like. I looked this up, so I got to make sure I get this stat off. We talk about Chris Bryant's season and how he hit Runes. How many teams did he hit more home runs than?
226.
Right. AJ Reed in 2014 hit more home runs by himself than 184 teams.
Yeah, eat it, Kendall.
That's pretty good.
It's really not that far off.
Noted Kentucky hater, Kendall Rogers.
That's right.
I mean, but I think that's exactly right, Joe. It's like he did that, 23 home runs, 73 RBIs in an era where, gosh, there was no offense. 2014, like, ugh. And by the way, was the Friday starter for a good, NCAA tournament team. And was 12-2, 209, off the mound that year. Like,
yeah, like I like Micah Owings
really
a lot as a player, but that one season for AJ Reed where he won the Golden Spikes is, to me, just puts him over the top of anything else. So
I still would.
Owings and Cags did not win the Golden Spikes.
No, I would vote. I think McKay, we're all sold on him. He won the Olerud Award 3 years in a row. Like, that's unprecedented. I would just go Cags because it's an emotional vote for me. Like, he was iconic, to overuse the word, and
he was just so much better than everyone else.
And he drugged a Florida team to Omaha like that. And I'm being disparaging of that Florida team, but like him and Brandon Neely basically said in 2020.
Yeah, he carried.
Yeah, they just basically said, "Listen, we're going. So whether you like it or not, we're going to Omaha."
But like, was he that much better than everyone else? Like, there were so many players putting up bonkers numbers in 23 and 24, like around the country. I mean, you look at, Wyatt Langford, his own teammate there. You look at, obviously Dylan Cruz. You look at Nick Kurtz. Like, everybody was putting up numbers. So like, I just think if you're looking at the guy relative to his competition, Reed blows everybody away. And Cags wasn't even a good pitcher.
Well, what did AJ Reed do non-2014 years? And that's not me. Like, that's not a leading question. That's an honest question.
No, it's a legitimate question. Hit 13 home runs as a sophomore with about a 900 OPS, like a solid sophomore year. Hit 300 as a freshman without power, 300 with 4 home runs. But also on the mound those 2 years, it was a 2.52 ERA as a freshman in 53 innings. So like very solid there. And then he threw 82 innings as a sophomore with a 4 ERA. Had a bad record, 2-8. But
how did he go 2-8 with a 4?
Yeah, that's weird.
Get him some help, Kentucky. My goodness.
So yeah, I mean, it's 3 years of like solid two-way production, both ways, and an exceptional junior year, both ways.
It's just hard for me to overlook because don't get me wrong. I am very much. I'm the guy that came with the AJ Reed 184 team stat, but like it's hard for me to overlook even in the era 2 separate seasons of 30 plus home runs for Jack Caglione.
Say that stat again, Joe, please.
2 consecutive seasons of 30 plus home runs for Cags. Like, it's just hard for me to overlook that. And I would push back a little bit on, like, he was not what we were sold. I don't want to say a bill of goods. He was not what he was sold as a starting pitcher, but particularly his draft year, he was a credible starting pitcher for them. I mean, he pitched in a super regional and pitched well. And if they were willing to do that, then, I think it says that he was a credible star. But your point is well taken. Like, it was not Brendan McKay on the mound for sure.
Kendall,
I don't think I'm going to win this argument. I know how Kendall's going to vote. But yeah, I mean, I vote Reed. But if I did vote Reed, I would think we probably would have to get Cags on the team in a different position. So I'll put that there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. That's yeah. And again, like, we knew this was going to be hard.
Yep. All right, so let's review our pitchers.
So we went with Cags, I assume. Is that the
that's my vote.
Yeah, I voted Cags.
That's my vote.
Yep.
All right, fair enough.
Fitzy, like the pardon the adjective, the prickly Supreme Court justice with a lot of dissenting opinions. Like I like it. Those people become heroes, Fitzy. Right?
He's just a mediocre pitcher. Guy was a mediocre pitcher. I don't know how we can have him as one of the best two-way players in the country, but I mean, okay.
I like it. It's
105 walks, 148 innings in his career.
It's a quality dissenting opinion.
It's not for me. Just not for me.
So let's review where we landed.
Have to be.
Paul Skeens, Steven Strasburg, Mark Pryor, Michael Roth, Jared Weaver, Trevor Bauer, Thomas Eshelman. That is our 7-man rotation. The relief corps: David Berg, Houston Street, Kevin Kopps, Matt Price, Chad Cordero. Heaven help us if we lose a game. 2-way players: Brendan McKay, Jack Caglione, and just another shout out for AJ Reed. Really, like right there. If we had an extra spot, much like on the position player side, boy, Dansby Swanson. If we could have a 35th roster spot, that would be Dansby Swanson. So
yeah,
well done, boys.
I'm going to throw out one more name just because it's a guy to mention. We're not going to rehab the vote, but like honorable mention to, because this guy should have been probably in the conversation. Will Craig won our Player of the Year award, National Player of the Year award as a junior for Wake Forest, as a 2-way guy. 16 home runs and was also their back end guy. So I mean, he's not going to beat out the guys we've talked about, but just honorable mention is just somebody else that don't overlook. This guy actually won National Player of the Year award, unlike Cags.
So let me I'll get you guys' take on this and then we'll wrap. So the two positions that really jump out at me, starting pitching was outrageous in this 25-year period.
Yeah.
And the shortstops. Like there are other really strong, there are other strongholds, but the shortstops and the starting pitchers, holy heck.
And first base was tough.
Yeah.
First base was really tough. Like we barely even talked about Andrew Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
That guy had a great career. I mean, so many of these guys, like Kurtz, we talked about, Cags, if you wanted to put him there, which I would probably, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of direction we could have
We didn't
gone
really even talk about Matt Laporta.
Matt Laporta his name didn't come up in this discussion.
Yeah. Charlie Condon didn't come up.
Charlie Condon, yeah.
Who was the catcher you brought up again, Fitzy? Why am I blanking on the name? That was a great pull, like just that we glossed over the first time. Florida. Oh, Zunino, Mike Zunino.
Oh, yeah, Mike Zunino.
Yeah, 3 straight Omahas, catcher for 3 straight Omaha teams. So really fun. Well, this is great. Yeah, I can't wait to see. We have not seen the fan voting, so I'm super psyched to see how our teams compare to the fan voting. So definitely check that out on the website. Check that out on social media. Well done, boys. Boy, did we! I mean, like our roster construction here. I mean, again, we had a decent pool that you put together for us, Joe. Like we had a decent group of players to choose from. But let's not cancel the walk-on tryout or anything. But
yeah, I mean the pool could have been better. Joe frankly did an average job, I thought, putting together the pool, but we picked them up.
We scrapped together a nice squad in spite of some mediocre scouting by Joe.
No. Thanks for all you do for the game, Joe. We appreciate your service.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for all
Good
you
luck
do
to
for
all of you in the draft.
Yeah, if there was an all quarter century team for expressions, thanks for all you do for the game would definitely be a first teamer there. So well played. All right, that's it. Really appreciate it, everyone, for listening, participating in the voting. That was great. There is our quarter century team as we have entered this new century. So lots of podcasts going right now. Sunday Night Conversations, D1 Daily, Highway to Hoover, ACC, etc., and tons of stuff. We have fall reports on the website as you are listening to us, people. Joe has come out in the first inning. He's throwing absolute gasoline. Arkansas fall report, Little Rock coming, Mizzou coming, maybe even already up there by the time you're listening to this. So that is it. It is fall baseball time. It is our time to shine, and we will catch you next time on the D1 Baseball Podcast.